My name is Tyler Fornes, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Good, the Bad, and the Hungy AEW podcast here on the Voice of Wrestling Podcasting Network. We take a broad scope approach to the world of All Elite Wrestling and the entire universe of Tony Khan. We talk about the big matches, the big stars, the promos, the storylines, and we also look at it from a big picture perspective. How are things going to change over the course of the next 10 years with AEW still in the picture? How are companies like WWE going to adapt and adjust to AEW? Are they going to be a similar way like they did with WCW in the late 1990s? Will there be a counterpunch? We talk about all of that and more on The Good, the Bad, and the Hungy every week on the Voices of Wrestling Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, and I'm joined this week by David McDonald. It is Wednesday the 25th of September, 2024. This is episode 329. How are you today?
I'm well. I understand you have a slight, little under the weather, feeling poorly, as they would say. So my thoughts and prayers are with you right now, with your battling your cold.
Have you ever done that thing where you blow your nose so intensely that you think you might faint afterwards? Yes. You're going to pass out, yeah. Yeah, it's like, I've had a few of those moments.
Yeah. I hate that. Yeah, because it feels like the blood is, not only is it mucus, it's blood coming out of your head, because obviously I'm so elated that I have none now. Have you gotten to the point where you're coughing so much your head hurts?
No, the cough hasn't been that bad, but Mally did keep waking me up in the night. She said that when I was sleeping, I was snoring and I sounded like a car, and I was also talking in my sleep. But she kept waking me up, like shoving me in the night.
Right, like you're doing it on purpose. I hate that.
Sleep.
Honestly, I'd be like, with all due respect, Joe, I'd be like, bitch, get in the other room. You know what I mean? Go sleep on somewhere else, because I'm obviously sick. I'm not doing it on purpose. Go fucking
right.
God, why are you waking me up? Like, it's not easy to sleep when you're sick.
Because I was annoyed her, because I was so noisy. She just wanted to wake me up when I stopped snoring. But
I know.
Selfish.
I do that too sometimes. I'll get like especially like after a couple beers. It's like, oh, I'm snoring like a motherfucker. Cheryl's like, oh. You're really pissing me off. I can't sleep with you. Just roll over, do something. But a lot of times it's just like she'll just nudge me and I'll roll over, and that'd be that. You know, that'd be the end of it. But yeah, when you're sick, it's hard to sleep in and itself. Yeah, I'd be like, look, here's the credit card, girl. Go to a hotel or something. I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. Sick. Are the kids sick too?
I know. They've got runny noses, but all children have runny noses at this time of year.
That's a good point. What is it doing over there now? Is it officially autumn? Are you like wearing jumpers and the like?
It is officially autumn. I think it was autumn on the 22nd of September. The weather's insane at the moment. It was pouring with rain in the afternoon. And then it was, why the fuck am I talking about the weather? What? No.
Because you're an old Englishman. That's why. That's what you do, right?
I want to talk about football.
All right, let's talk football. Let's go. What do you got?
In Ring Art says, can you please give us a brief Arsenal recap? Do you think we have Man City rattled? I'm here for the Super Arsenal cast. I'd like to go to you first, though, because you saw some of the City versus Arsenal game, which has had a lot of tongues wagging.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Well, I had you in the TV quad box. I had you were the lower left-hand quadrant. I had that on, and what else I have? I had a couple other things on at the same time. So I was watching that. You got fucking hosed, man. You got fucking hosed. One, like, and again, I'm impartial as well. I root for Arsenal because you root for Arsenal. Let's be very clear. As well as Dan. So I, as an outsider looking in, I felt like there was a bit of, I'll just say, leaning on Arsenal when it comes to a lot of the calls. Like, it felt like, man, every call was going against you guys in the sense of, just defensive plays and just nonsense. And didn't you have a guy, you got a red card, so you were shorthanded for like a vast majority of this game?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So now you're man down. And this is not like hockey where it's 2 minutes you're a man down. You're fucking down a man.
Yeah, it was nearly an hour. I think it was 56 minutes of football after that.
And I'm watching it, and I could hear your voice in my head. All we need to do is just get, if we could tie the game, if we can get ahead, great. But then just go into our little fucking shutdown defensive, all hands on deck.
I don't know if you see the movie called The Grey, where Liam Neeson is in a plane crash and him and his crew are getting stalked by a pack of wolves. And spoiler alert if anyone's not seen it, but there's a bit where he finally, he's injured, he's very weak, he's close to the edge, and he accidentally stumbles into the den of the wolves and he's confronted by the alpha wolf. So he's completely fucked. So he duct tapes a knife to one hand and sellotapes to his other hand a load of like glass whiskey miniature bottles that he smashes. So he's just like, he's there in the snow, like knife in one hand, broken glass in the other hand. He's like, fucking come on then.
Yeah.
That's what it was like for Arsenal.
It really was. You guys, who's your goaltender?
David Raya.
Yeah, he had a fucking game because he was standing on his head with a couple of them. A couple of them were just like point blank, and I was like, well, that's, he fucking got a hold of it. And then that fucking, what was the goal in like the 97th, 98th minute or some shit?
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking, man. I gotta be honest. That's why I didn't text you. I didn't fucking do anything after that. I was just like, he's not going to be in any mood. There's nothing I could have said. I could have said, we have $1 million to split between each other, and you'd be like, like, I get it. And then the post game, there's a lot of chirping going back and forth. I don't know. Did they play each other again this year?
We will be greeting them at our place at the Emirates Stadium in February.
Ooh, that should be fun. That should be. I tell you what. If I can find a line for that, I might have to put some shekels on Arsenal. Like, that feels like a big time revenge, and I might even spot City a goal. I might even give a goal. Like, I think that place is going to be bonkers, number one. And I just think they're going to go for the throat, hopefully, and take care of business. So I'll make that bold prediction right now. Yeah, you got fucked. You got fucked on that one. I felt that way, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, yeah, dog shit. But I mean, that was their first. I mean, they hadn't lost nor tied all year, correct? City.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's been a while since they dropped points at home. So,
yeah,
either if you take out the timing of the goal, the fact that we managed to hold on for that long and get a point and have all the City fans and players celebrating like it was a win, because they just drawn at home against the 10-man side. Like, that's to the point of the question from Ivrigot. Yes, I do think we have them rattled. So, of course, like, after the equaliser went in, I was devastated because we were literally seconds away from, I think, what would have been a historic win, just in terms of an elite defensive performance. And we've had a lot of criticism about that. And it's just a very funny situation because we have rocked up to the same stadium against a similar team before, had players sent off, and still try and play pretty football and just get absolutely smashed, like 5-0. And when we were doing that, we had a lot of praise from City and their manager and the media, like, oh, yeah, Arsenal are a great team, yeah, they try and play football the right way. But now that we've actually turned into a team of hard, nasty little bastards who won't go down without a fight and are going to dig their feet in and scrap and bite and kick and foul and cheat and time waste our way to get the results that we need, they don't like it anymore. And just the absolute uproar coming not just from City's players, although that was very telling. Like, they were just lining up to spout vitriol about how awful we were and the dark arts, Arsenal do the dark arts. Like, the way they're talking about us is like we're fucking the football equivalent of House of Torture.
Are you?
Dick Togo out there on the touchline with a garrote wire when people are trying to take throw-ins.
All right, so
we're not. We're only doing what all other teams, a lot of other successful championship winning teams, this Pep Guardiola's Man City team included, because they invented a lot of this shit. They do it too. There's actual evidence of Guardiola on documentaries and stuff in the dressing room being like, if the other team is in transition, if they break away, you foul them. You foul them. Yeah, when we do it, suddenly it's the end of the world and it's a disgrace to football and we're the bad guys because we did a bit of gamesmanship against the fucking oil billionaire team.
It's so every sport. Every sport has it. It's amazing. Shaquille O'Neal. If I say the name Shaquille O'Neal, you know who the fuck I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as big and as fucking a mountain of a man that he is, I mean, he was unstoppable. Who's going to stop him? But if you fouled Shaq, he'd have to go to the free throw line, and he stunk like a guy getting millions of dollars. We'll call it. He couldn't fucking put a ball in a basket from the foul line. Like, they would just clunk it off the rim and clunk it. He was just awful. Because I don't know, you spend your whole career underneath the basket. You don't necessarily feel the need to do it. I don't know. Anywho, that was everybody's fucking plan of attack. Was, all right, get him on the foul line. Just fucking hack a Shack, they called it. Hockey had the same thing. Detroit Red Wings with the left wing lock, where while it wasn't illegal per se, it was, you're clogging up the neutral zone. You're clogging it up to make it difficult to transition. Yes. New Jersey Devils, same fucking thing. And if you found a way to get through the waves of defense, you had the fucking best goaltender in the fucking league you had to contend with. Defense wins championships, Joe. Defense wins championships, not 9 goals, because when you get down to the nitty gritty, the game changes. In every sport, it's more physical, it's more grinding, it's more sandpaper, it's all of it. And all that flashiness goes out the fucking window. So, yes, I'm with you, dude. I'm glad that Arsenal's taking this stance. I'm glad. Good for you guys. Fuck it.
I'm imagining now, like 195 BC, the Spartan army generals seeing the Roman army doing their phalanx formation behind their shields. The shield walking. Well, this is some defensive bullshit.
Right. Hey, listen, if you're not going to fucking kill us right, man, then, right. Stupid. People are just, so annoying. So fucking annoying.
Thermopylae against the 300 Spartans. Like, well, what is this defensive nonsense? Come on.
Right, get out of your swords. Game. Right. I understand you have 4 soldiers and we have 450, but come on. Cowards. Oh, boy.
But, so whilst I was upset at first, seeing all these City players and manager and media and fans just falling over themselves to talk shit about us, it made me really excited, because they're right. Like, we're in their heads now. Yes. They're scared.
Yes.
They are rattled.
Yes.
And it's September, so I'll take that. We'll take the point. That's a good point. We're already, 5 matches into the Premier League season? And I would say 2 dodgy refereeing decisions aside, we'd be 5 wins out of 5. As it is, it's 3 wins and 2 draws. But Plenty of football left to go. And I think we've got a real shot this year. And I think City know it.
Yep.
And I think they're scared.
You did was you planted a seed. Yep. You planted a seed. You planted a seed for February. That's exactly what you did. They're on the ropes. Now you did a good job, man. Love it.
And it's also very exciting for me. It's got me back in because we've gone through a period where the big rivalry was Guardiola's Man City against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. And those two managers just loved each other. And there was so much mutual respect. The football was outstanding, don't get me wrong. But there was no juice to it. There was no real drama. Whereas this match on Sunday, there's been so many great Kikuchi moments, just like these little building moments where, like Erling Haaland has thrown the ball at one of our players' heads and told our manager, hey, stay humble. And there's just all this like shithousery going on that's just sowing the seeds for a proper, juicy, meaty feud. Just the way I like it, right? The good shit back from the late 90s, early 2000s, Arsene Wenger against Alex Ferguson, Man United versus Arsenal rivalries. Like, I don't want any of this shaking hands, mutual respect bollocks. I want to be absolutely despised. I love it that we're hated. I'm not one of these Arsenal fans that wants all the neutrals to cheer for us and want everyone to be on our side. I don't want the moral high ground. Fuck that. I want everyone to hate us. So it's more fun that way. So we're back.
Love it. And here's the thing too. I mean, not that it doesn't already, but you can rest assured that fucking building is going to be sold and they're going to be hanging from the rafters, as Gorilla Monsoon would say. Ratings will be through the roof. It's only good things come of professional athletes having a little bone to pick with each other. Everyone wins because here's the thing: the game will be great, the drama will be great. The talking points, everybody gets all fucking fired, a little fired up, a little bit more animated in their opinions. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Love it. Good job. Good job, Arsenal. Good fucking job. And I'll tell you right now, like I said, I'm actually gonna look tonight to see if I can find an early line on that game. I don't know if they would even have something like that out, but here in the States anyway. I'm not going to go to William Hill or Bet365 or whatever the fuck it is. But I'm sure I could find a line. And I might, like I said, that might be one I might have to put a little money down on just to see how it did. I had a good football weekend last weekend. Very good football weekend with the bets. Did all right. Did all right with some parlays, which I don't like to do too often because they're sucker bets, but I did all right. Made some pizza money, Joel. So I had felt good, hoping to ride the crest. Hockey season right around the corner. That's where we really make the bucks. I don't know. We're doing all right. The bankroll is built back up. Talking like a fucking degenerate. But yes.
Are we opening up like a Patreon Damon's betting tips?
Oh, it'd be nice. I would like that.
Put that on the deli. There's nothing else interesting coming on there.
I would do that. I would absolutely do that. I'm not going to go fucking into Discord. I've been banned, but I can send them to you, and then you can post them. That'd be good. I do that. I can give you fucking shit every week. Every fucking week, I could do it, and everybody be rich, and everybody sucking each other's nuts. It'd be great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, that's what the rich do, according to P. Diddy, apparently. Did you hear about this P. Diddy stuff? Have you heard any of this?
Yeah, Manny was telling me about it this morning, and I looked some of it up, and it's quite ghastly. What was it, 100 bottles of baby oil in his house or something?
Lube, yeah. Well, you know what Cheryl's response to that was? The 100 bottles of lube. Why are these girls so dry? Swear to God. I was like, wow. I wonder why are they so dry? I was like, I don't know if it's necessarily all for girls, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge,
he's
nudge.
Just got the biggest slip and slides you've ever seen in his backyard.
It'd be so much fun. I love this little slip and slide. No, there was a brand. I think it was like the knockoff brand. I don't know. Slip and slide was called a wet banana. It was yellow. I remember because we had the cheap one. We had the cheap wet banana. Sounds very perverted, but it was just.
Yeah, it sounds like a rude thing. Oh, he gave you a wet banana.
Right. And it does sound like a deviant sexual thing. Yeah. Wet banana. All right. So there you go. There's the P. Diddy. We covered that. We did the football. Guess we're done for the night, right? What? No?
Yeah. I had a lot of people reaching out to talk about Max Headroom.
Oh, really?
They found it extremely funny that you thought the Max Headroom incident was responsible for the Max Headroom character becoming popular. No.
Wait.
No.
So what's the real story here? Did I fuck it all up?
Well, Max Headroom was a popular pop culture character before the Max Headroom incident, and no one knows who did the Max Headroom incident. And,
well, you know that.
yeah.
But I didn't know. No, I thought they were first. And then it was Max Headroom.
No.
Who told you this?
I looked it up.
Oh, so nobody told you this. You looked it up. So you believe everything you read on the internet, do you?
Oh, God. All right. So are we going to... Right, I'm going
to find out the truth. I'm going to find out the truth. And if I'm right, everyone owes me an apology. I want everyone in that Discord to apologize to me. And I want you to apologize. Because I feel like that was first. And that spawned the Max Headroom. Max Headroom wasn't first. That's where they got the idea of Max Headroom.
The Max Headroom incident took place in November 1987.
In Detroit or Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay. Go ahead.
And Max Headroom first appeared 1985. So Max Headroom had already been around for 2 years before the Max Headroom incident.
Really? Is this on Wikipedia?
Yeah. Max Headroom debuted, so it was April 1985. And then there was the Max Headroom show series, which was April 1985.
Yeah. Why did I have it reversed? Why did I?
I don't. Well, that was very entertaining.
Did everyone make fun of me? Was that the Discord that did that? Was that those people?
They were more making fun of me for just sort of going along with it.
Well, why did you correct me? Correct me.
Because I wasn't that sure. I didn't want to be like getting up Wikipedia in the middle of a podcast a bit. Well, actually, David, right.
I would have rather have that than the embarrassment I'm feeling right now.
I didn't feel like dying on that hill.
I've died 1,000 deaths. Oh, all right. Guess I was wrong. I'm sorry if I offended any Max Headroom fans. The Max Headroom fan club.
We've upset the Max Headroom community.
Right, the internet.
We're going to get DMs from Max Headroom.
Max Headroom Twitter. My apologies to everyone. I apologize.
I need to know where this information came from.
My head. It really just came from my head. Somehow that was the chain of events that have occurred. Whew. Does that tell you that I'm fucking losing it? I don't know what it. I swear to God, I thought it was.
No, this is something. That was nearly 40 years ago. Like it's okay to get that mixed up. I think people were just laughing at me for just going along with me. Like,
but everyone else knew. Everyone else knew I was wrong. Why didn't anybody else just chime? Well, because we do a show between each other. There's no way anybody else could do it.
Discord.
Right. Was it 2 people?
I suspect a large chunk of our listenership don't even know or care who Max Headroom is.
Yeah, I wonder how old those people, those two, they just fucking expose themselves as being old. You know what I saw the other day? So I was going through my notes in my notes app, and I guess in our travels, I would put down somebody's name and where they're from, right? Just to be like, I don't know, give a shout out. I don't know, maybe. And I just wondered if these people still listen to the show. So can I read off their names and then where they're from?
Yes.
All right.
This is a great idea.
So I have 3. I have Patrick Hughes from Birmingham. Do you think he still listens? Patrick Hughes.
Is this America Birmingham or UK?
I think
Birmingham?
it's UK. I think it's UK because I wouldn't have written it down if he was from Birmingham, Alabama. I'd be like, I ain't fucking. But if you're Birmingham, UK,
you would be listening to us anyway.
Exactly.
I think I've chased off our listeners from those particular states.
That's true. Yeah, we're not a big red state kind of show.
No. Working on the swing states, but. Yeah.
We're trying to win over the Rust Belt right now. Patrick Hughes from Birmingham, home of Duran Duran. Then there was a guy I met in Australia, Clay Wilson. All I have is Clay Wilson from Australia. So Clay, if you're still listening, you're probably not, but I think I met him at a bar it had to be Melbourne. Yeah. And then all I have is Joe from HK. I'm assuming that's Hong Kong. Do we remember a Joe from Hong Kong?
I don't remember a Joe from Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, and if any of you three are listening right now, get a hold of Joel, and I'll make it worth your while. How about that? I'll make it worth your while because you've been a long-time listener.
How?
Long time. All right. Very good. Thank
what
you.
Exactly are you going to do to make it worth their while?
I'm going to jerk them off. No.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know. I'll give them something. I'll give them. I got so much shit in my fucking office, dude, wrestling wise, that I'm just like, why do I have this? Maybe this can go to a good home. So yeah.
You got any good merch? Any good hats or t-shirts or anything?
I have t-shirts. I have autographed magazine covers. I have, which I really like. I have magazines.
I really love that All Japan's t-shirt you gave me.
Ah, okay. Well, I can see what else I got if you want something else. You want a little care package too? Well, I was going to get you a fucking dude. Don't even start because we're already like, dude. We already have shit for the kids when we come over. Like we're already prepping. So you're going to get a fucking. I'm going to have to ship it over. I guarantee you. There's no way I'll probably be able to have it on my person on the plane. I'll probably have to ship it in advance.
Well, won't be asking you to bring over any white noise machines this time. So,
what?
Do you remember that story?
The white noise machine.
The white noise machine. So we ordered a white noise machine from the States. It was for the babies, and
yes.
You brought it to Tokyo for us.
Yes.
Then we took it back to Xiamen.
Yes.
Left it in China,
and that was that.
Moved to Bangkok, and then we had to get it shipped over from China to Thailand. So this was like after years of the initial purchase, plugged it in and it exploded.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? I did not know
sure
that.
I told that story before, but I did burst out laughing when it happened just because just how ridiculous it was.
The sheer ridiculousness of it. I know. I do remember bringing it. Yeah. Okay. Now I do remember bringing it. All right. Well, listen, it's a BMW. I can't carry it, so I had to get it shipped. So enjoy, Phil.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Well, there's very little going on in New Japan, so we'll preview Destruction Kobe.
All right, we can do that.
And that's it.
Looking forward to that. I did watch. Do you want to talk Yoshi-Hashi video?
Well, we can weave that into the preview of the Yoshi-Hashi versus David Finlay match.
Good job by you. You know what? You're a professional broadcaster. This is why the people listen. This is why wrestlers listen. This is why wrestlers wind up in our DMs. This is it. This is the reason. All right, go ahead.
That is the only reason. So, Destruction in Kobe. This is happening September 29th at the Kobe World Memorial Hall. We will open up the show with Tiger Mask, Tomoaki Honma, and Yuji Nagata against Ryusuke Taguchi, Shota Umino, and Dragon Dia returning from Dragon Gate.
Interesting. Kobe is a bit of a hot spot for Dragon Gate, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why he's there.
Yeah. These are the shows that I always just like, I'm left scratching my head with. I mean, they're on the roster. I guess, they have every right. If they want to wrestle, they can wrestle. And a 6-man tag is certainly acceptable. But like, I don't know, like we're bringing out Honma, and we're bringing out, names that you just don't. Tiger Mask, just randomly you see him once or twice, 3 times a year, what have you. Maybe, more when it comes to a lot of the undercard stuff on the road 2 shows too. But who watches that shit? I just like, I don't know. I feel like it's like a rite of passage where these guys have earned the right to be in an opening match and an opening multi-man tag match to just kind of, all right, we'll get you easily to match number 2. Nice and simple, nice and safe. Everybody's going to be in good spirits to see a lot of guys that, how many more years do these guys have? I would say less than 5. You think Tiger Mask is going to be still doing this shit 5 years from now?
No, I agree with everything you're saying. It's just interesting that Shota Umino is the one
right
on the other side of this.
Thank you. Right. I thought that was odd too. Like his name sticks out like a sore thumb to me. And why? Like the first time I saw
my understanding about his trajectory, like all the talk he's been doing is that he wants a match with Zack. And I'm assuming that could be a title defense if Zack beats Naito and then defends that against Sanada. Then I don't know. I just don't know how the timing works out. Yeah. I don't think we're doing Zack against Shota at Wrestle Kingdom.
No.
Although I can't rule that out entirely. I don't know if it will be more of like a power struggle or something like that.
I can't see that at Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, look, I understand that, this is the end of September, mind you, but don't you think like there would have to be some major things happening for that to occur? And if that's the case, this show is the first week of October. Don't you think like he would either A, they're putting him on first in this multi-man tag match to then have greater things occur on this show? Like that's a possibility. He gets the win and then he gets all fucking, I don't know. Who knows? But
it feels like a bit of a fool's errand trying to attribute meaning to every single undercard match. But that's what we're here for. I mean, we're trying to make an interesting and compelling preview. Yeah. But this is one where I think it is worthwhile to explore those avenues, but ultimately
dead ends.
I just think this is the first match of the card and it's just nothing.
Yeah. You're 95%. I'm just playing with the 5%. When you first saw this, I'll tell you what. When I first saw that lineup with that match, my first thought was somebody's getting punished. It really was.
Yes. Yeah, the word punishment did just pop in my head.
Did it? Okay. Like it just seems a little bit like okay. We're gonna pop you in this match because of X, Y, and Z or whatever the case may be. Like it did feel a little bit of that.
What could we have possibly done? I was certainly not.
Oh, we wouldn't know. I would have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on outside of wrestling ring. I would never want to speculate or even begin to think. But he probably didn't take it to trash. Believe it at that. Didn't take it to trash.
Didn't wash his hands after having a poo.
Oh, that's the worst. Got to wash your hands.
Do you know what his nickname is in our Discord?
Poopy hands.
It's Shitter Pumino.
Wow, that's creative. Who made that? A 6-year-old? Shitter.
There's a lot of 6-year-olds on our Discord, actually.
Are there?
Well, you think so, based on
not the mental intelligence.
You're not vibing with Shitter Pumino, no?
The emotional intelligence? No, that's a terrible name. Terrible. Who made that? Was that you who made that? You made that. You're blaming it on somebody else and you did it. I know it.
I could search. I could do a name and shame.
Oh, really?
Shitter.
Is it somebody I know?
Shitter Pumino. I'm going to search and see who was the first person to.
Yeah. They need to be out.
It was, I believe it was Fraser. Not Fraser, but Discord Fraser.
Yeah. I know it. Phew. Terrible.
That's the first mention I'm seeing of Shitter Pumino.
See?
That was on 14th of July last year.
Oh, God. Now, see, now don't you regret me? You were very, very quick to bring him back. He could have been gone. You wouldn't have had to deal with it. Somehow I feel like I made the right decision after learning this information. All right. Actually, it was the...
I found a post here from Liam, who no longer goes on our Discord, but he's got the 4 new Poolas: Puya Uemura, Yota Puji, Shota Pumino, and Ren Narita, in brackets, his matches of poo.
And people are just lining up around the block, queuing up to get in this fucking Discord. And we have people that pay. Some people pay for exclusive access to the deli. What a life. What a world. All right. They're getting their money's worth. All right. What's match number 2? We spent much too long talking about match number 1 and poo.
Match number 2 is Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Yota Tsuji against Francesco Akira, Callum Newman, and Jeff Cobb. So it seems that Yota Tsuji and Jeff Cobb are still intertwined somewhat. I know there was a talk of having a 3-way match for the TV title with Ren Narita. But Ren's injured now. We don't know how long he's out for, or even if the injury is legit. It could be a work. Maybe he's going to come out after this match and batter them. I don't know. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe still some of that, maybe some residual Tsuji Cobb stuff. Or possibly we're doing something with Francesco Akira, because he picked up at least one notable singles win that I can remember on the last few televised shows.
Okay.
So maybe he could be lined up as a junior challenger.
Okay. I mean, that's you think he gets a big win over like a guy like Hiromu?
Yeah, or a Bushi. That might do it. I don't know. Hiromu would be
the bigger
making
name.
a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think getting a win over Bushi fucking gets you anything, but well, maybe. I mean, again, we sit here and we talk about these undercard multi-man tag matches, hoping that there is something that comes from it. And again, we're dealing with the 5% chance that this actually, that it's not just like, all right, clean win, let's move on. That would be at least interesting. But again, this promotion is the king of let's run it back. So I would not be surprised if this somehow ties into some kind of Tsuji Cobb interaction once again. And I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I don't think, I don't like 3-way matches in general, let alone now we're going to put a 3-way and a 15-minute time. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like we're doing a lot here. We're doing too much, as the kids say. So if it is a Tsuji Cobb reuniting of some kind, I don't have a problem with it. And if that just means that they're just going to do a rematch, I'm okay with it. I would think the Akira stuff would be a little bit more, or Akira. I always call him Akira. I don't know why, because it looks like Akira. I think that would be a better choice for me personally. I think you too. But if I were going to betting man, I would probably say it's somehow tied back to Cobb and Tsuji.
What about Hiromu Cobb?
I was going to mention something, and I felt like it was going to be another Max Headroom situation. I was a little gun shy. But do you think Hiromu's gotten bigger size-wise? Do you think he's putting on muscle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So we're like, and I'm not just saying that because, I'm trying to manifest him to elevate to a heavyweight. But I'm noticing just in the past maybe 3 or 4 months, like he seems bigger. He seems like a bigger guy, like thicker. So maybe. I think all of that would be fine. I think the least creative option of Tsuji and Cobb. Okay. But I'm okay with it. Ideally,
the Hiromu Cobb feud for the TV title, I think, would be pretty great.
That'd be really good. I mean, seriously, Cobb gets his wish of having a guy he could just fucking toss around. Hiromu can be Hiromu, and I think that would be really good. See, now you got me all excited. It's not going to happen, but boy, fucking fingers crossed. Let's do that. That'd be great. Cobb Hiromu. Seriously, has anybody ever fucking said that we need this? I mean, maybe indirectly, but we need this. Like I'm into that. That'd be fun.
All right, let's move on to the third match, which is a special singles match between Hiroki Goto and Gabe Kidd. So presumably this would have involved Jake Lee in some form. It seemed that Mad Bastards and Bishamon were on a collision course, but obviously Jake Lee got hurt, so the logic going into this is Gabe Kidd getting revenge for his fallen comrade. I love the match on paper. I just think sort of stylistically, they look like the type of wrestlers who bring out the best in each other. Hopefully they both agree to hit each other very hard. And I think Goto has a lot of momentum, a lot of goodwill behind him after a really outstanding G1 run that over-delivered in the eyes of a lot of fans, myself included. And I know the tag titles are currently on TMDK, which feels pretty cold.
You think?
And I think the direction... I would be excited for an extended Bishamon versus Mad Bastards feud. I don't know how long Jake Lee is out for, so I don't know if hopefully he'll be back in time for World Tag League. But that is a match I think you could run either World Tag League final or run it at Wrestle Kingdom for the tag titles. Because I think Bishamon against Mad Bastards, I think that's a sexy tag match, and I'm assuming that this is going to be the genesis of that feud.
One, Hiroki Goto's had a nice little run here, and I'm all about riding that horse. Like let's do it. And we're not wishing. Don't take this the wrong way, peeps. I'm not wishing injury on anyone, but let's make some lemonade out of the lemons, right? And I think you're right. I feel like this match has the potential to be one of those. Never knew I needed it. Never knew it was a possibility. But here we are, and holy fucking shit, this could be great. The only thing I'm worried about is, and I probably shouldn't be, but I'm gonna air it out. Riding that horse is to like, I'm worried that we're so excited about the past 6 months or 3 months or 4 months of Hiroki Goto that our expectations are pre-baked in of this being good, and somehow it just kind of falls a little flat. Like, I'm trying to temper my expectations and be pleasantly surprised like we were, because I think that played a lot into us kind of getting this newfound boner for Goto. And I worry just a smidge that maybe our expectations might be high, because now we have Gabe Kidd, who we're all happy with. We all know the chaos will fucking flow. That we assume they're going to be hitting each other really fucking hard. I just maybe I should just fucking sit back and relax and let it play out. But that's my only worry, honestly, that I'm overvaluing and I'm riding a hot hand, and eventually that's going to peter out, and it's not going to quite live up to the lofty goals that I have for it. So it's dumb that I would even give it 5 minutes of thought, but that's me. And hopefully it's others listening to the show, because I think it's like on paper that has the possibility to be a match that people might want to circle.
And it's only the third match on the card. So I think, the best we could hope for is like a sort of fiery, 12, 13 minute hard-hitting slugfest that sets the table for future stuff down the line. Or I could also see this going to like a no contest, a double count out or disqualification or something with some shenanigans involved. But it does feel that this is the start of something rather than the end. You think. And you did make a good point. We're not asking Goto to go 35 minutes. Yeah, 12. So I think he has that. So, you know what? I'm putting more money on Goto. Let's go. Make this great. Fourth match, we've got Taka Michinoku, Taichi, and Sanada against Zack Sabre Jr., Kosei Fujita, and X. Feels like we've had this conversation many, many times before. Yeah. I still think it is going to be Ryohei Oiwa. I find it very difficult to say Ryohei. I think it's going to be Oiwa. Whether or not I think that's the best spot for Oiwa, I don't know. I feel the debate about how to re-debut exciting young lions post-excursion, I find that quite exhausting.
Yeah.
Because it feels like an unachievably high bar set in our minds where whatever happens, we're going to be disappointed. Like, oh, we want everyone to come back and be 2012 Kazuchika Okada challenging for the world title. And I think we don't really give enough credit to the boldness of the booking of Yota Tsuji when he returned, going straight into the main event at Dominion. That took a lot of guts. And that is probably the boldest thing that they've done with a returning young lion, dare I say, since the Rainmaker shock. I don't know, I can't think of any more examples. My point is, we seem to be setting ourselves up to fail with this Oiwa stuff. I don't expect him to be coming out and doing anything groundbreaking or making waves for Wrestle Kingdom. I think the talent is there. He's got all the tools to be a huge success, but I'm not going to be putting my foot through the TV if he comes back in this spot and is a guy in TMDK to start off with.
Right. He's holding a flag and wearing a t-shirt.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a valid point. And I think as much as we watch New Japan Pro Wrestling and we try to put ourselves in the mind of, New Japan Pro Wrestling brass, there is always that element of, and dare I say, Western pro wrestling of you now have a talent that's on your roster, and we need to make a big splash, and we need the fucking Titantron to be spectacular, and we need the pyro, and we need big spot opportunity and big challenge and all that. And even though we sit there and we reject those things for the most part, it still influences a lot of what we would want for a returning pro wrestler, even though we know the likelihood is small. Like, I think we deal a lot in possibilities across the board, right? Like, we're like, all of our debuting pro wrestler history, we kind of take little things that we liked about this, and we take a little bit that we like about that. But the truth of the matter is that those, bring them back and put them in main events, it doesn't happen in New Japan often. It's really not one of the things that they rely on. That being,
I can see why people are saying it for Oiwa, because he's had such a really great run in Noah, and he's had big main events there, and he does have that aura. So I see where the expectations of the demands are coming from. They are not unfounded. I'm not saying that if you want big things from Oiwa off the bat that you're wrong or unreasonable.
But I agree with that statement in the sense that he's it's not like he's in fucking, York or he's in fucking, wrestling on some indie show in Asbury Park, New Jersey, or like, he's not out of sight, out of mind. Like, he's there. He's in the mix of pro wrestling in Japan. It's like he didn't go that far, right? If New Japan's running on a Friday night, Noah's probably running either Saturday or Sunday. It's not that odd. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like, and to me, there is a large part of my thought process of, like, why would you do that? Like ride the residual efforts of another promotion making him a big name. Like, tap into that. Go with it. I'm not saying he comes in as a fucking outsider and I'm a Noah guy and I'm going to run roughshod over New Japan. No, but what I'm saying is that I feel like he's already an established guy. Like, why would you take a step back? So in that breath, yes, I think that would be the smart thing to do. I think because it's already there. Like, you don't have to do a lot of legwork. Now, again, I will say this. and it's certainly not as bad as a fucking a WWE clown and an AEW clown yelling at each other on Twitter. Like, it's not like that, but like they're, Noah fans watch Noah, and fine. And New Japan fans watch New Japan, fine. And is there crossover between? Yes, of course there is. But, you can't, I can't sit here and expect New Japan fans to be like, oh, it's, that's just like, I can't expect that. But I would think that it would be easier to do than, a young lion coming back from a Mexico excursion. That being said, a lot of times when they do come back, it is that, oh, it's him. He's back. Great. I don't know. I'm kind of torn.
Could you, but, okay, right. I mean, we're assuming this is going to be Oiwa and he's going to be part of TMDK.
Yeah.
What would be a healthy, realistic expectation for Oiwa's trajectory for the rest of the year going into Wrestle Kingdom?
Well, we're assuming Zach is still the guy in that faction, so he would be below Zach, right? Do you think that, especially this year, he's not going to be the guy, right? We're in agreement there, right?
I don't think not being the top guy in the faction is going to hinder anyone's progress, because look at Yota Tsuji. He's in LIJ. Naito and Hiromu are arguably bigger stars than him, and sort of like more prominent members of LIJ. But I don't think that positioning has hurt Tsuji at all, because look how he re-debuted, Dominion main event, New Japan Cup winner, challenged Naito for the title at Sakura Genesis, G1 finalist. Like, he is doing absolutely fine. I don't think he has been hurt one iota from being part of LIJ and not being the official leader of the faction. So I'm not worried about that. I don't get the criticisms that, he's Zach's understudy, he's going to look less than. I don't buy that. Like, if he's good enough, he'll be absolutely fine.
Right. And he'll be able to shine. So you mentioned Tsuji a couple times. Hindsight being 2020, are you happy? Like, if I told Joel leading up to the match with Naito and Yota Tsuji and his return, and he's going to be challenging like right out of the gate, and then to that time, from that point to now, do you think he's right where he should be? Do you think that you expected more? Because I guess my point is this: yes, he did. It did seem like he came out of the gate really fucking hot. And there are guys that you could say make the same argument. I mean, even Jay White came out of that gate, with a big fat loss. And, Okan we'll use as an example too. Are you happy with where he is right now?
Yeah, I think in terms of what he's achieved so far, he's exceeded my expectations. And it's not just the booking and the kayfabe accolades, it's also seeing his development in the ring. And I went from having concerns about his ability to have a compelling, robust New Japan style main event match to those fears are gone. Like, I've seen him do it night after night in the G1, towards the tail end of the G1. The Finlay match, Zach match, the Takeshita matches, ticked all the boxes for me. Like, he could do that now. So I'm also seeing the development of his skills in the ring, which I think has been done in a very thoughtful way. Like, I think a lot of meticulous care has gone into that. I don't think it's been sort of slapdash or happened by accident. I think he's had these opportunities built in a very sort of careful, measured, layered way to have that progression. Yeah. So we don't know about Oiwa. Like, is he going to be ready to be having those kind of matches? Because we do this a lot. We project all our hopes and dreams upon the returning young lion, and often they have holes in their games that we're not aware of, and then we end up getting disappointed. Now, everything I've seen from Oiwa leads me to, not have those worries. I think he's going to be great because he's a tremendous amount of upside. But I can see why New Japan might have a more cautious reintegration long-term strategy for him rather than immediately pushing him into high-profile singles feuds.
I'm going by high profile. I just think this one's just a smidge different than others, just for the Noah factor itself. So I'm going to say a little bit higher than that. Let's put it this way: if you're doing a pecking order, I think if you're bad dude Tito, you might be losing your spot quickly. I think I would. I mean, he's got to be the number 2 guy in the faction. Let's put it that way. He's the number 2 guy in the faction, right?
Yeah. But I don't think attributing hierarchies and ranks to people within factions is useful.
Then why? Why? I mean, again, I understand why, but like to me, look, you're not going to stick him in a tag situation, are you?
I don't know. I'm looking at this thinking, what could he do from this match to propel him into something compelling? Maybe, he gets a pin here, he pins Taichi, has a little singles feud with Taichi, and then ends up, I don't know, tag league? Is that who could he team with from TMDK to go into tag league?
Great question.
I don't think tag. I think tag is not the way for him.
Correct. Definitely singles, and like I said,
you got enough fucking singles titles to do something interesting with him. Like, any of them, TV title, never
the white belt,
NXT,
global.
Yeah.
Again, I think what we'll see is if you want a throw the fucking dart, I'm going to throw the dart and say that it's going to be a noticeable thing. I doubt they're just going to have a match, have him not pin someone, and just go in the back and cut a promo. Like, I just don't see that happening. I want to hope that there's more into it, and I think he's out of the gate. We're giving him mid to upper mid card feuds. Like, that's where I see him, like, this year doing that.
Fifth match, never open weight 6-man tag match. Oleg Boltin, Toru Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh, did you do that quiz, by the way?
The quiz. Oh yeah, I didn't even turn in my number, dude. I could not fucking. Again, I'm the same guy who fucking thought Max Headroom came from. Yeah, my number was embarrassingly low.
Okay, because I did it. I got 157 out of 159.
Jesus.
I did really well. Yeah. The only 2 I didn't get, I forgot the Josh Alexander and Machine Guns team.
Holy shit.
And one of the Freakazoid ROH teams. There was like Delirious and
Jay Lethal.
Cheeseburger and
right.
someone else.
Yeah, no. Mine was just awful. And right. Nor should you remember these things. To be very clear. This is terrible.
While I remember, because I'm on my Twitter at the moment, did you see the graphic that Rush posted on Twitter with him and Naito together with the World Tag League graphic on it?
I did see that. Yes, from our account, yes. Excited for that?
Excited for what?
the World Tag League.
Well, that's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Something that Rush posted is definitely confirmed to be a real thing that's going to happen.
Oh, Lordy Low.
Can you imagine the work rate of a Rush and Naito team in World Tag League? Whew. First of all, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just Rush going into business for himself, but it's an extremely funny thought either way.
Well, I'll set the over-under of 5. How many times will he have either one or the other? Will it be T-shirt night? Over 5 or under 5?
That would be their whole gimmick. They'll be the T-shirt boys.
That's what I'm saying. I would definitely take it over. Taking it the fucking over on that one. Absolutely. That's a slam dunker right there. I think I'd have to put some crazy odds on the over on the 5. I might have to raise the over under, but that screams T-shirts to me. Fucking shirts.
Right, what was I talking about? Okay, yeah, right. Never openweight 6-man tag. Boltin, Yano, Tanahashi defending against the House of Torture Challenger team of Sho, Yujiro, and Evil. So last week it was Evil, Yujiro, and Dick Togo. Mm-hmm. So they've swapped Dick Togo for Sho. And I've heard that they've got Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta in their corner for this one. So they're just going to be going all out with the Dark Arts. Yeah. There's going to be some proper shenanigans going on there. And who knows, that might be the little boost that they need to get them over the line and finally win the gold. I have nothing to say about this.
I mean, look, I will be... Now, remember when you were talking about how you're looking forward to a match of just pure fucking shithousery? Just so much nonsense and so much craziness that it actually turned into something enjoyable and fun and watchable. You think that could happen here?
No.
All right. All right. So then, in other words, fast forward to the last 2 minutes and catch the finish and move on. All right. Title change or not?
I don't know if I could. Well, I was going to say, I don't know if we really want Yujiro Takahashi holding
who gives a shit?
The New Japan title. But there you go. We've got Yano holding one. So
you literally just gave me a tag team of fucking Josh Alexander, and you know what I mean. All bets are off. I say do it. What the fuck? Why not?
Belt up. All right then. 6th match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. DOUKI with his second defense against Yoshinobu Kanemaru. I love what they've done with DOUKI this year. Just having him go on that journey and that development story of him basically defeating all of the old guard for the junior division. He's beaten Hiromu multiple times. He's beaten Desperado. He's beaten Ishimori, the guy he could never beat. So he's got all those monkeys off his back and basically cleaned out that, the typical, the traditional, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The guys who have been at the top of the junior division for the last few years.
Broke through the ceiling.
Yep. And that feels, it's kind of cleared the path, cleared the deck for what I think is the new generation of junior heavyweights. So Kanemaru feels like his penultimate storyline faux nemesis to beat because, of course, they're former Suzuki-gun buddies. I'm sure they've tagged together in junior tournaments and stuff. I don't think they ever won the titles, but they've got history. So it's like DOUKI is one by one systematically going through all these people who have been significant in his journey as a wrestler to this point. Right. So it does feel like a bit of a filler challenger. I don't think that there's any realistic chance of Kanemaru winning, although I have no doubt that Kanemaru is going to use all of his excellent skills to get the crowd on DOUKI's side and have some believable near falls and have us all cheering for the inevitable comeback when DOUKI does get his win. To me, the more interesting question is what we're doing after this match, though. But first of all, how are you feeling about DOUKI against Kanemaru?
I mean, I think everything that you said is accurate. Those, what you said were my bullet points of, he's mowed through. And I don't know if mode is the right word, but he's mowed through all those guys that you mentioned. Second title defense, it does feel like it's a slam dunker. Stranger things have happened, though. And I'm like, oh, okay, they want to do that, would they? I feel like he's got to get the win. And I feel like it'll be a strong match, but he's got to get the win. Is he your junior of the year?
I think he might have to be. I just what a tremendous job, both by him and by the company, in elevating him and making him seem like a legitimate guy in this roster.
he might be my number one pick for Junior of the Year, which is absolutely outrageous. If you told me this 2 years ago, a year ago, I think he's right now. He's like, name me another guy that would be in the same ballpark. I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, he might be it. All right. Yeah, I think this is a win though. Give him 2 under his belt, and then let's see where we go from here. I want to see a younger guy, quite frankly. Maybe someone from TMDK. How about that?
Ree says, who's the best challenger for DOUKI at Wrestle Kingdom? Wato, Akira, or someone else? I do feel that the challenger after this will be Akira. And I think we might do DOUKI against Akira at, let's say, Power Struggle. But ultimately, for both in-ring and narrative reasons, I feel that DOUKI against Wato is the match to do at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's the symmetry of DOUKI being the guy who attacked Wato when he made his re-debut, and that being sort of like the last guy, or maybe the guy he'd forgotten about. He might beat Kanemaru and beat Akira and be like, oh, I've cleaned out the division, I'm the top guy now, and then bang, he forgot about Wato, and Wato is the guy to dethrone him, because that was the guy, his past coming back to haunt him. His demons catching up with him with the dastardly things he did back in pandemic era in New Japan, coming to bite him in the arse. I think that's a very compelling story, and I think the match would be great.
I think you're right. I don't hate the idea, to be honest with you. I'm actually looking up right now. How long has he been out? He lost it to Ishimori. 2023 Best of Super Juniors. Yep, go defeat Mike Bailey in his semifinal match. Defeated Teton. That was all last year, though. When did he get hurt?
Yeah, his last match was January. It was New Beginning.
I mean, that would be... look, personally, I'm not doing cartwheels over that, but I see it, and it makes sense, right? And again, me and the Master Wato, once again, out of sight, out of mind. I feel like I was kind of high on him too. I feel like there was a couple moments there where I was like, all right, he's turning the corner. Gets hurt. Yeah, I think you're on point. There is time in between that point and, in between Wrestle Kingdom and where we are now. So we could squeeze in some more. I would love to see, I don't know. I just want to see somebody different, to be quite honest with you. I feel like we've seen everything that you said is true, and there's a method to the madness of being able to march through all those guys that you mentioned. Okay, now give me somebody fresh, and then that's a perfect idea of, okay, yeah, I did everything. I did the old, I did the new, and there's nobody left, and then this guy haunts him from his past. Thank God New Japan listens to this fucking show, because they get so many freebies. Jesus Christ.
Now, speaking of new and fresh, the 7th match is the Never Openweight Championship match. Shingo Takagi challenging the champion HENARE in his second defense.
I think it's truly a matter of these two, like these. There are only a handful of people that are willing to work with HENARE, knowing full well that HENARE is going to come up to him and be like, "Hey, brother, we're going to hit each other really hard, right?" Okay, I guess so. Like I said, Joel, this is a company that loves to run it back. So I think it'll be great. You are right. I know you made the point before, diminishing returns, but I think they have it in them. They obviously have it in them. The hardest part is not doing the same shit you did before, and being creative. But I trust. If I fucking... There's not many people that I trust more than Shingo to make that work. And HENARE's down for just about anything. So I think they can make it work. I think it'll be fun. I think it'd be really good. I want to say that this show has a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential here. This could be a fucking show of the year. Like if some of these undercard matches connect, like this could be a really fun fucking show. I'm going to say HENARE successfully defends.
I'm just prognosticating for the future. Do you think he holds that until Wrestle Kingdom? And if so, who would be an opponent that you would like to see him defend against at Wrestle Kingdom?
Well,
because I've said I would like to see Mad Bastard stuff, but I think HENARE and Gabe Kidd having a rematch for the Never title at Wrestle Kingdom would excite a lot of people.
Right. Yeah, that has pre-baked energy. Yep. Which is pretty cool if you think about it, that we just came up with two pretty decent, excitable ideas on two different sides of the New Japan Pro Wrestling world. To me, I would go Gabe. I would go Gabe HENARE, Wrestle Kingdom. To me, that feels like that has so much just extra that's attached to it from the beginning of the year. Like we can carry that over to Wrestle Kingdom and finally have that. I'm going that route. Joel, that's the route I'm going. That, to me, that's a money match.
Yeah, that is the correct booking decision. Okay, then the 8th match, IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship match. David Finlay with his second defense against the challenger Yoshi-Hashi. Now, I spoke about how great that video was last week. You've seen it.
Yep.
Talk to us.
Look, if you're on the fence on Yoshi-Hashi, if you still haven't quite dove into the deep end of the pool, I urge you, I encourage you, I think it's a must watch. It's not long. It's on YouTube. English translations. Do it. Do it. Do it. Because a lot of things, what he said, really tugged at my heartstrings, if that's what I'm looking for. We do a dumb show, and we're two dopes that just happen to buy fucking microphones and had good chemistry between us, and we've allowed a lot of podcasting miles. Everything that we say, and it's not like everything comes back to a wrestler, but they know when they do poorly, and they know when they fuck up, and they know when they're not hitting the mark, and they know when things aren't connecting. They know it. They're not dumb. They're not walking through the curtain, especially someone who feels like, man, maybe I don't even fucking belong here. They take it to heart. And that's why we kind of joke around and be like, fucking, vanity searching, because they can't stop themselves. That video was just like, he just came across as a fucking human being you want to get behind. Like a fucking dude that you want to be like, all right, no matter what, I'm a Yoshi-Hashi guy. And that's weird saying, because I'm not making excuses for the fact that for a long time he didn't connect. And for a long time he was a bag of socks. And for a long time he was just that guy. And the one thing that stuck out to me was when he says, they talk a lot about his run in, and when he fell literally face first into the ring apron, and his shoulder got fucked, and Jay White had to literally carry him to pick him up to get him to fucking take a move.
Real quick, David, they obviously this match is in the same place where it happened.
Yes.
They are absolutely running that spot back, aren't they? Like you know David Finlay's going to like drag him down the ramp and
make him run,
ram his shoulder into the apron, isn't he?
Probably. And again, pro wrestlers are pro wrestlers, and some are smarter than others in the sense of they can turn real life into pro wrestling stuff. But you felt his troubles with that moment. And you felt his struggles with fitting in and doing a good job and being recognized as at least doing a good job. And you felt his struggle in falling short and knowing that he fell short and knowing that moment. And he talks about reliving that in his mind and having fucking nightmares about that moment. Everybody listening to this show has had something in their life where, oh my God, why did I do that? Or, oh my God, why did it happen that way? And oh my God, if I could go back and change, I would change me doing that or that happening to me or whatever the fuck it is. Everyone, I guarantee you, has it. No one doesn't. And for him to be vulnerable in front of a camera and say, that moment fucked my head up and I needed to take some time away. And what did he say? I just needed to be an observer, watch things, watch how things move around me. I don't know, 10 minutes, man. It's 10 minutes and you will be a fan. And I guarantee you that even if he's wrestling your favorite wrestler and you want your favorite wrestler to do great things, there will be a part of you that's like, come on, fucking Yoshi-Hashi. You know, you're just rooting for the guy. And I'm there. And I'm there. And I know it seems silly, but I want to know what that young lady who was in tears over Yoshi-Hashi is feeling right now. I would love to see a follow-up interview with that young lady because guess what? She fucking got it from the beginning. She, as silly as we can be and as fucking dopey as we can be and as what, and it turned into a little bit of a meme and all that shit. That young lady fucking was dialed in and knew it from the jump. And that's why Yoshi-Hashi was her favorite wrestler. I need to know what's going on. I need an update from her. I need to know because quite honestly, she should be doing a fucking podcast because she's that dialed in. She should be doing a podcast.
You know, sometimes during like big IWGP World title matches, as it reaches the climactic moment, the camera will cut away and zoom in to the belt ringside. Yeah. And just do sort of a slow zoom in on that just to build up the drama and the tension. Imagine if they found this woman in the crowd and just like zoomed in on her in the closing segments of this match.
Oh my God.
I'd lose my shit. That would be like the greatest callback.
Listen, we know that there are a lot of people within New Japan Pro Wrestling that listen to this show. Make that happen. Find that young lady. Find her and give her complimentary tickets and plant her right in that fucking front row. Because that would be so great. I swear to God, if they did that, I don't know what I would do. I would be emotional. I really would be emotional. I would be. Because I would just want it so bad for them. And then they let her in the ring and come to find out they're married. It's like Elizabeth and the Macho Man reuniting. No, it's silly. But yeah, how about, dude, you fucking just made a moment. Why aren't you booking this shit, Joel Kikuchi?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm
listen, I'm just saying. There's a reason why we do this show. That would be awesome.
There was also a quite interesting interview with Finlay to get his perspective on things. And the most interesting takeaway from that was him talking about the match he would like to have at, I think it was Wrestle Dynasty. I'm assuming he's talking about the January 5th show. And he was hinting at reversing a decision about someone who's banned from New Japan at the moment. So a lot of whispers about David Finlay against Jay White at Wrestle Dynasty.
Well, I mean, I'd be cool with that. I think it's something we would want, right? I would want that.
Do you think the heel versus heel dynamics would be an issue?
Nah, I don't. Because I just think that there's already that built-in thing. I mean, the people that are going to Wrestle Kingdom or Wrestle Dynasty, they know the backstory. They know what David Finlay did. They know the struggle Jay White had at the end, getting beat and leaving town and all that nonsense. No, I don't think so. Because as weird as it might sound, it might be fucking Jay White being that baby face that we've been waiting for, that's kind of what we thought where we would be as Jay White as the fucking remember all that talk? Jay White being the fucking ultimate babyface at the end of all this Civil War and all this fucking nonsense. Well, that obviously didn't pan out. For one night it could.
I don't know if that will be one that will be tricky to do politically, because I don't think Jay White is especially protected in AEW, but it's not like he's out there eating pinfalls.
No.
All the time, but I feel that's something they could get done.
Yeah.
And I think would be pretty cool for Philly to get a win over Jay White.
Yeah. Well, fucking Tony's got to worry more about the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars getting destroyed.
Did Billy Gunn pin Jay White? Did I dream that? I'm pretty sure that happened.
Probably
so
right.
If Billy Gunn could do it, then
yeah,
David Finlay could do it.
Yeah.
Come on, we can get that done.
Yeah.
I don't expect Yoshi-Hashi to win this match though.
I don't either, but I'll be
all right then. Main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Tetsuya Naito with his first defense.
Wow.
It's his first defense against Great-O-Khan. Excellent interview with Great-O-Khan on the website, and he really tapped into and said out loud what a lot of things that I didn't necessarily think he was going to say or be allowed to say, about how the fans are not cheering for Naito in a way that a fan might cheer their hero who is inspiring them and is courageous and embodies something aspirational, but they're cheering for him like, come on, Naito, you can do it. You don't fuck up your moves. You're on your last legs, but please just hold it together. And that is more of a concerned cheers and God, I hope he's going to be okay cheers, rather than cheering for a powerful, inspirational, heroic champion. I think he's right.
Yeah, I do too. I 1,000%. Doesn't mean he's going to win. Doesn't mean that he's got a fucking snowball chance in hell to fucking take the title. But I agree with that 100%. Now, with that being said, I don't know if Great-O-Khan is the guy that can help a battered and beaten and physically pushed to the limits Naito to get through a match. Because, again, expectations is we're going over 20. We're probably pushing.
Yeah, it will be a slower match, though, won't it? Like, Khan matches are more methodical, and there's going to be a lot of sort of vibes and sort of character work. So I think it's something stylistically that's going to benefit Naito. I thought their match in the G1 block finals was pretty great. So I don't have any concerns that sort of stylistically it's going to be something that is unfavourable for Naito.
Oh, I do. I mean, not the entire match, but that closing stretch where we're kind of all looking for that New Japan formula. I worry about that. You think seriously, how many Destinos is he going to fuck up?
He might not even do one. I mean, that would be a great bit of storytelling where he sort of teases to it, doesn't do it, and ends up winning with like the jackknife pin or something. Perfect.
I mean, it's got to be something else. I can't imagine it being a fucking Destino. I can't imagine him getting. I mean, here's the thing too, and you know, I've never taken the fucking Destino, mind you, but it feels like you need a lot of the other guy doing a lot of the fucking work on that one. And I don't know if O'Khan is that guy that can make that work. Yeah. So I would say, I mean, I don't want to bank on it, but I think they would be smart if they stayed away from a fucking Destino. And I mean, it could be good, but I don't know, man. I just hope. The good news is that my expectations are kind of low. So maybe they knock it out of the fucking park and they're able to work a way that complements both guys. They have to. This is not going to be fast-paced, running gun. No, there's going to be some control spots where it's going to be like you're waiting for something to happen. So hopefully they can do that well. I worry. I'm not going to lie.
Starface says the G1 gave Okada a lot of momentum. What do you think New Japan's plans are to keep that momentum going to the end of the year, if they have any? What do you see Okada doing Wrestle Kingdom weekend? And Louis says, I almost forgot that Okada is the KOPW champion. If you were to book a future KOPW match, what stipulation would you have? We have already seen this man eat lemons and all sorts of stuff. What more could we do in a KOPW match? So, yeah, I think a lot of people have forgotten that he is KOPW champion. So I think he's going to lose to Naito, but I think there is scope for him to do fun and interesting things with KOPW, with perhaps a bit of renewed energy and momentum now that he's had a strong G1 run and he's had a world title challenge. And I do think what he was doing with the rural revitalization stuff was pretty good. And I know people will mock it for the silly stipulations, but the philosophy behind that being that him saying, look, we're going to these rural towns and I want to do something fun and memorable and unique to the place we're going to that the live crowd are going to enjoy and appreciate. I think there is value in that. And I think it's a bit too easy to just hand wave it and call it silly when I think that there is a lot of thought put into it. So I would like to see him getting a couple more defenses against some interesting opponents. Like, no, let's not do any like fucking gyoza eating contest with people like Tangaloa. We could do better than that. Right. But the stuff I thought the stuff that he did with Yu was pretty good. I mean, he's capable of having good matches. So I would like some interesting KOPW stuff and him to finish the year as the KOPW champion. I can't remember if he was last year or not, though. This is the problem. It's such a forgettable thing.
Right.
And then obviously, like, he can't carry that into Wrestle Kingdom. If they're going with the KOPW Rambo, then yeah, that starts fresh every year, doesn't it? Yeah. So I almost wonder if he might be better off ditching that and going for something different, having a different sort of thing at Wrestle Kingdom, because I think it would be a shame if they didn't capitalize on the good work that they've done with him and the extra effort he's put in towards the tail end of the G1.
Okay, but where do you put him? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where does he fit in? Because we got slots that are pre-designated for guys, 5 years down the road. I don't think he fits in. And I don't mean this as a knock, and I don't mean this as a disrespect, but King of Pro Wrestling is that's where he's slotted to be. Unless major fucking things change. Like he's going to be in that mix. And, maybe you could dust him off and make him a tag and, you can make a challenge here and there. But, I mean, that's the spot. And he's, I'm not going to go so far as and be like, wow, he's a modern day Toru Yano. But, like, what else are you doing? What else are you doing? Like, I don't know if, and you're right. So those revitalization main events were specific to those locations, and there was thought process in having that region or that town being represented in a, in a way that they recognize and the way that the fans are comfortable with. And, and it wasn't as fucking grandstanding as, every fucking promotion that runs in Philadelphia has to have a Philadelphia street fight. Okay, we get it. Like, it was more than that. But that said, like, I just don't see, I don't know what you do with them. I don't know what you do with him. He's not winning this title, number one. Number two, he's got the KOPW. He'll have it till the end of the year. No one's going to give a shit. Okay, and then he's back in the mix for it. I don't think anybody would complain. I don't think anybody's like. I think people have been burnt so much by wanting more from it that they're just kind of giving up. And I just feel kind of if they wanted to do something with him, they would have. That's really the point. If they wanted to do something with him, they would have already. And the fact that they haven't really, it just like what would be the reason, knowing that so many guys are climbing the ladder, what would be the reason for you to go and tap Great O'Khan on the shoulder and be like, okay, you're winning the global, or you're winning the TV, or what would be, why? Well,
why give him this little elevation now? Why have him?
Because he's an easy defense.
Go through to the.
He's an easy defense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's quite a cynical view, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm going to choose to be a foolish optimist and think and hope that they do something with him at Wrestle Kingdom. I know I'm going to be wrong, but I'm putting on my clown makeup, David.
Come on, don't have to go that far. I want, and here's the thing. Again, we've said it 1,000 times. We want more, but there's nothing that indicates that will be the case. Nothing.
Well, there is that. He knocked out Naito from the G1, and he had main events and went on that run and made it to the latter stages of the G1 and is getting a world title match. That is something. It's much more than he's ever had in his entire career. So it might be nothing. You might be right. He just might be the sort of monster of the week, but
monster of the week
could be. Yeah, could be something else.
All right. Well, let's put it this way. So at the
story play out.
Let the story play out. But in the grand scheme of things, does he have any shot of winning this title?
What, against Naito?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Did you ever feel that he was winning G1?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Did you ever feel at any point during this calendar year that this guy should be either A, global, B, TV, or C, never champion?
TV.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could do TV.
He could do it. He could do all of them. But
never. I think he'd be a good TV challenger. Challenger champion.
Do you think that the company feels that way, though, Joel? Because I think we're biased.
Again, I don't have enough evidence to say if this little push he's getting is an anomaly or if it's part of a wider trend that they're now quite keen on him.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you what. I'll bet
that's okay. Not enough evidence.
I'll bet $1 that come Wrestle Kingdom, he'll be in the KOPW mix.
Okay.
And I'll give you the field. Anything else? He could be doing anything else. I gotta be honest with you. Right. There's a good chance he's not even on the show. But okay. I'm sticking with KOPW, and you can have the entire field.
I think he'll be wrestling MJF.
Wow.
That's what I think he will do. All right. Well, that's that. That's our preview for Destruction in Kobe. Looking forward to it. I think that's a fairly stacked show. So well done, everyone. I'm going to have a couple of questions before we go.
All right.
It's from Antonio. We've not heard from him for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to pair it off with another question. So Antonio says, I have a question to you guys. Long time, long see. I know. But here's this. How's Kenta's status with New Japan? Is he leaving or staying? Because I haven't seen Kenta in NJPW in a long time. Currently, he's doing more indie and MLW days. That NJPW. So he's leaving. What is status with a promotion? And I'm also going to add a question from Ninja Mortis, who says, is 2025 the year NJPW doesn't re-sign Chase Owens? There's also a question about Kevin Knight here, but I'm going to stick with that one. So it does seem interesting that Chase Owens and Kenta were heavyweight tag champions earlier in the year, but now can't find them with a search party. Yeah. Not in the G1. I wonder, maybe this is just sort of optimistic on my part, but if that tag title run was a kind of gold watch for them, saying, look, we're going to be phasing you out, we're going to wind down your dates, so have this tag title run and try and piggyback it into something with another promotion, but we're going to be using you less.
I mean, maybe he has done a ton of stuff in the States. MLW is correct. And a lot of other independent type Defy. Yeah, he's done everything, but he did a little spot over the summer in Australia. Defeated Gino Gambino. You see this? July 26, 2024. Kenta defeats Gino Gambino at Wrestle Rock 40 in Melbourne, Australia. How about that? Yeah, I think the last time we saw him was like in a New Japan ring. Was what? May? It looks like May. Yeah. And then he lost in the qualifier, right? New Japan Soul. Yes, I am reading fucking cage match results. He's got that right. No, I don't think he's like not going to be in New Japan, but if I'm not mistaken, and I could be dead wrong, he still lives in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, or the Seattle area. I could be dead wrong on that. So I kind of see him doing more strong stuff than New Japan, right? But they can always bring him back. Chase, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in World Tag League. I would not be surprised. Truth be told, I just don't see the value in flying him over. That's really what it comes down to when we have so much talent here. That okay, so what's the point? He is a guy that you would think it could be handy in the sense of, hey, somebody's got to lose, but what's the point? He's not in great shape. I think everyone would admit to that. In the body-centric New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's probably lower on the list, and this is me saying that. And he's good in the ring. I think he's good in the ring for everybody who shits all over him. He's good in the ring, but he's not anything that's going to stand out. And again, why? I guess the question would be why. And I don't have a good answer for you. So I'm sorry. I think we're good without it. We don't need it. We really don't. We don't need it.
And does all that you just said also apply to Chase Owens?
I believe I was talking about Chase Owens. At least Kenta's got Kenta's name, There is something to be said about that.
Yeah.
You're comparing the wrestling legacy of Kenta versus Chase Owens. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kenta might have him beat. But yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in either, to be truthful. Yeah. I'm good.
All right. See you next week.
That's it? Oh,
that's it. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the co-hosts of Jumping Bomb Audio, the #1 show all about the world of Joshi Pro Wrestling. Episodes drop every other Monday, where we discuss the biggest Joshi news, review shows, and preview the hottest upcoming Joshi action.
So whether you're a new fan or an old fan, we've got something here for you at Jumping Bomb Audio.
Check us out on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.